Ready? Welcome to the Career Gym Meal Prep Masterclass. Brr, brr, brr. I hope you like my mustache. I wore it just for y'all. Full transparency. I got a little blister and I was a little shy about it. And I was like, wait, I could just like filter that shit. So let's jump right in. Yeah? Yeah. Ready? So disclaimer, I'm a virgin at this. This is only my second masterclass. The first one I did was floppy as fuck. So I wanted to yeah, I don't like to suck at things. So I was like, we're just gonna go at it again and see what's up and hopefully suck a little less than last time. So yeah, yes. So yeah, I when I woke up this morning, I was like, oh shit, I better practice so I don't look stupid. So I've been practicing and re-editing and just going at it all day. So with that, I'm still shitting my pants. So full transparency. But I would love your grace and I would love your feedback at the end of this. So let's go slash grow. Let's get it. All right. So first of all, who the fuck am I? Well, I'm Coach Nat, and so I opened America's first career gym ever in Oakland, California. We ran that like a physical brick and mortar location. Some of y'all got a chance to work out with me there. And in 2020, we went fully virtual. So we've been fully virtual since then. The pandemic started in March. Our lease was up in June. We were rocking it, and we are like, "Fuck that lease. Let's just go with it." And we did. So 3 years later, in 2023, the Career Gym grew to be $1 million company, which was crazy. We had about 350 clients and about 18 coaches. Um, so it looked great. I was like happily married, my two kids, $1 million company. Not the case. So in 2024, I ended up completely blowing it up and starting over because basically it just wasn't fun anymore. I
Mm.
literally created another corporate job gym environment that I left in the first place. So I shut it all down and completely started over in 2024. So I'm about to hit that quinceañera 15 years in business mark. And since then, I've worked with about 15,000 queers and allies, according to my CRM. So, bitch tired, but also very blessed and very grateful. So, thank you. All right. And then there's Nat. Okay, I'm first generation Mexican American. My first love was and is basketball. My true love and I, we divorced last year after a 10-year marriage and raising two kids. Um, yeah, 2024 was just blow your whole life up year for me. And currently, my goal in life, my mission is to optimize my life so that I can experience as much of the world with the people I love. And a little bit about me and what I value. One of my values is I don't lose if I learn. So if I have a shitty situation and I can pull a lesson from that, winning. If it ain't fun, I'm not doing it. Just how you saw, I blew up a whole fucking company my whole life. If I gotta show up to a master class with blisters, I'm gonna make it fun. Show up is another big value of mine. My mom used to say, "You get a B if you just show up." And I was like, "Well, fuck, that's true." And lead what you live. It's really hard to do what I do when you're full of shit. So if you're not doing what you're asking your clients to do, it shows, and it mostly shows in the way that you're able to retain and service your clients. So one of the critiques that I've gotten my entire career in the fitness industry is that I don't look like a coach. But I think that works in my favor. I don't think you need to look like a coach. I think you need to live like a coach and have the habits of a coach, but I don't think there's a look to it. So that's a little bit about me. So what? Who cares? Well, you're gonna get both. Like I can't like divide them up. You're gonna get both. You're gonna get little silly me and you're gonna get like Coach Nat me as well. And I'm kind of good at this shit. So one, I live what I lead. This was actually me in the beginning of the year when I started this whole transformation, stressed the fuck out, surviving on whatever. There's actual videos of me like going to sell my clothes to go get groceries, like shit was tight. So I know what it's like to be balling on a budget. I know what it's like to deal with depression and anxiety and suicidal ideation and divorce and kids and the whole shit. This was taken when we did the 5K, maybe a couple months, no, not even like a month ago. This was just this year. This is some of our current clients that I'm working with right now. Some of them you'll see if you end up joining us. So from dropping weight to gaining muscle, we can do it all, no matter what. So, why am I doing this masterclass? One, because some of y'all just may not know me and my crew well enough to like want to fuck with us yet. Some of y'all may not, maybe you don't like me well enough yet and you want to see what's up and like, do you really want to spend time with us? Maybe you don't think that this is something that's possible for you. Maybe you've tried doing this over and failed and never quite, maybe you lost hope in that. But the other reason is accessibility, right? Um, that's important to me. Obviously, that's one of the reasons why I started the career gym in the first place. Just I wanted my people to have access to the shit that makes them happy and healthy homos. So, we ready? Paper, pen, notes, screenshots. So let's get to it. So, the old school way. Normally, when I say meal prep, people usually think about somebody cooking all day on Sunday, throwing shit in a Tupperware, taking a photo, flexing on Instagram, and then by day four, you're tired of eating the same shit, and you end up just wasting your food and wasting all that time you spent meal prepping on Sunday. So, fuck all that noise. We have a new school way of doing this because literally, I don't even know any fucking coaches that do the old school way. I think that was cool in the 90s, I guess. But like now nobody got time for that shit. So let's get going with meal prep. All right, but I gotta pump the brakes a little bit because everybody wants to jump into meal prep. But before we get to meal prepping, we gotta understand how to put a grocery list together because you gotta go get the food. And we also need to understand how to set up your environment. All right, so we're gonna be starting off with these three topics. This is kind of how I divided up the presentation. I'm gonna like go in on one topic. I'm gonna pause. We're gonna do a Q&A on that part. And then I'll hit the next one. We'll do a Q&A. And then we'll hit the last one. We'll do a Q&A. Okay? Let's go. All right, so we're gonna start off with environment. This is my favorite one, actually. Most people spend most of their day in 2 to 3 different environments. Okay? For most people, it's home, work, and then car. So, what are yours? Like, what are your top? Think about that. You can put it in the chat, but like, what are those 2, 3 environments where you spend majority of your day? Work, home. Please no one say my ex's house. Okay, cool. Pretty much home, work from home. Yep. A lot of us work from home. All right. So why is the environment even a thing? Because if you set up your shit and you make it so easy that you can't fuck it up, you don't need to depend on motivation, right? So let me explain what I mean by that. So step one in your environment is you want to remove all the bullshit. Okay. That could be whatever, cookies, ice cream, alcohol, weed, like anything that doesn't really align with your goals. If it's not in the house, it's probably not going to end up in your mouth. Simple as that. Now, if you're worried about wasting food, I'm not saying you have to throw it away. You can donate it. My favorite thing to do is give it to my friend and me and be like, oh, I got extra groceries. You want some cookies? Got some ice cream. Hook them up. All right. Knock on your neighbor's door and be like, hey, all them 5,000 kids you got, here you go. Here's some snacks. Okay. Now, I'm not saying you can't have cookies and ice cream and chips and all that. I'm just saying there's better ways to have it. Two of those ways is one, replace it. If you want ice cream, literally Google protein ice cream. You want chips? Protein chips. There's protein pasta. There's protein pancakes. There's like protein everything. Okay? So if you're gonna have it, just find the protein version of that and have it. And a lot of them don't taste like ass anymore. All right, y'all see me on Instagram tasting different shit for y'all. A lot of these things used to taste like ass, which is why a couple years ago, when I was trying to switch things up, I was like, yeah, nope, not happening. The other thing that you could do is you can make it a thing. Okay. So my ex used to love, she was one of them people that can just eat and nothing ever, no, the scale never goes up for them. And every night it was like candy, it was like, they like baked goods. So like cupcakes or a good one she always liked to make, always some sort of cupcake, whatever. And I was like, yeah, no, I wish I had self-control, but if it's in this house, I'm gonna put it in my mouth. And so the what we ended up agreeing on was, okay, if you want dessert after dinner, let's go to the restaurant. Let's make it a thing. Let's have a little date. You want ice cream? Let's go get ice cream. We can hold hands. We're all cute eating our ice cream. Like you can make it a thing and still enjoy it, right? So that's number one for your environment. Remove all the bullshit. Step number two, I missed one. Where's two? Oh, there's two. Okay, I forgot this part. So check this out. When you clean your environment and you remove all the bullshit, that can feel overwhelming, right? If you have a lot of shit you got to get rid of, if your fridge is a mess, your pantry's a mess, it can feel like a big to do. It's only going to be a big to do the first two times that you do this because every week that you meal prep, this should be step number one. Okay? You can do it all at once and just say, fuck it, I'm doing it this weekend. Or you can break it up into little chunks, 10 minutes every day. Which one of those feels better for y'all? Knocking it all down at once or working at it little by little? Hmm. Some chunks little by little. Okay, it's about 50-50. Hey, whatever works. Whatever works. I just want you to know you have options. Beautiful. De un chingazo. Yeah. Okay. All right. Step two. Step two is you want to optimize your environment. You want to pimp out your environment so that it's easier for you to hit your goal. Here's a few examples. If you want to drink more water, leave your water bottles everywhere. Where's your water? Everybody get some water. Cheers. I literally drink a lot of water because it's by my desk. It's everywhere, by my bed, it's in my car, right? Another example is um if you want to eat more protein, leave. You know how you potheads have little stashes of weed everywhere? Have your fucking protein snacks right next to it. Y'all laughing because you know it's true. So, yeah. So wherever you have wherever you have your protein or your weed, you should probably have some snacks there because when the munchies kick in. If you forget to take your medication or you want to take your vitamins, move that shit next to your Keurig, right? Something that you get every morning. It's right next to you. Oh, my coffee. Oh, look, my gummy vitamins. You're gonna eat them more. Okay. Here's an example. You go grocery shopping and then shit just goes bad because you don't really see it, right? It hides in the back. Most of us put veggies and like the healthy shit in the drawers in the fridge. And so out of sight, out of mind. Okay. I'm a big fan of setting up your environment to win. So here's a trick. Let me show you all this. Most people open up their fridge and it looks like this, right? They have all this bullshit right here. This right here, prime real estate because it's the first thing that you see when you open it up. This part right here, this is the first thing you see, right? And it's usually bullshit. This is also prime real estate. Right? And where do we normally hide all the good stuff that we should be eating? In the back. So if you have edamame that's been sitting here forever, instead of leaving it back there, throw that shit in the front. Throw that shit in the front. All the healthy snacks. Put that shit in the front so that way when you open up your fridge, that's the first thing you see and that's the first thing that you reach for. All right? All right. So I promise you, if you set up your environment, it's going to save you a fuck ton of time and it's going to save you a fuck ton of money. Okay? Because when you start cleaning stuff out, you'll be like, oh, this canned green beans. What can I buy? So use it, right? Or when you're at the store, you can be like, I know it sounds like a good idea, but I don't eat that shit, so I'm not gonna buy it. It will save you time and money if you just take a little bit of time to do it. And it should be, again, part of your first step of meal prepping every week. I will encourage you to take before and after photos of your environment because baby steps. Like baby steps equals baby wins. And the more baby wins that you have, the more buy-in, the more that you feel good about what you're doing, and the more that you actually stick to it. Okay. So if you take a photo of before and after, my love language is being tagged on Instagram now. So tag me. I want to see. I'm gonna be nosy. All right. So let's pause here. Questions on environment. You can go ahead and unmute yourself. or you can drop it in the chat. Oh, look at all our faces. I didn't see all of us because I was trying not to fuck up. Okay.
Okay.
Any question?
Okay, so I live with my mom, and she tends to have somewhat unhealthy eating habits, and it tends to rub off on me. You know how when you constantly are around people who are snacking or eating things, it makes you have your cravings. And so, how do I not only make sure to remove all the bullshit from my environment, but also like not have her get tempted as well to buy all the unhealthy snacks? Because I know sometimes I'll be I'll be honest, I'm holding myself accountable. Sometimes I'm the one that buys the unhealthy snacks, but majority of the time I'll find them in the fridge. She'll be like, I bought pie. I'm like, oh, I bought ice cream. I'm like, where's the Greek yogurt? I'm like, cake.
So it's a little bit different when like it's a full ass adult versus
Yeah,
like kids,
yeah,
right? Um, and my response to that is number one, having a heart-to-heart conversation,
yeah,
right? I think your mom gives a fuck about you and be like, damn, like, all right, let me try to do a little better. And they're
yeah.
not gonna know any better. They're gonna be learning alongside with
Right,
you.
right,
Um, but like that can even be a thing, where like
right.
make it part of the experience. The other thing is as much as you can, like maybe designating like a section of the fridge for your stuff,
Yeah,
right? And you can even go as far as like getting a fucking little fridge for your room and just keeping your shit there.
yeah.
I have a client who bought like a fucking cart and like they bought a cart and then they were just like going at it with fucking Pop-Tarts and all this shit. And I was like, first of all, we need to smoke a little less weed at night. Okay. And if you're gonna eat like that, let's get the protein version of shit. So she full
Right.
on got a cart in the room with all the protein shit because everyone else in the house kept eating their shit. So
Yeah.
it
So,
does take, communication. I think
yeah.
number one is like communication and also like grace. Like, your mom may think that like chicken pot pie is like the move, I mean like
Right.
the thing
Big
I
baby steps.
offer you is to get more involved too,
Yeah.
right? Because you being more involved makes you more proactive in what comes in the house,
Right.
right? If you're like, hey mom, I'll cook on Wednesdays, right? Like that gives you a little
Yeah.
bit more agency in the
Right.
process, and
Right.
we're not just putting it on mom to cook healthy
The
and buy
baby.
her shit that
Yes.
like obviously is
Right.
not her default. It's a process. It's
Right.
gonna be a process for her too.
Yes. Absolutely.
All right, so we got the environment. Now we're gonna go into the next step before we get to meal prepping, which is gonna be putting that grocery list together. Okay, no more throwing random shit in the cart. I promise you, you're blowing money. And I promise you, you're blowing time going up and down the fucking aisle, just throwing random shit in the cart. Okay? A grocery list is going to save you both time and money. I don't care what anybody says. I'm too busy. I don't fucking care. It's still going to save you time and it's still going to save you money. When you do it right, my record is 12 minutes in and out of Trader Joe's. I know. I was like, burp, 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 burp. Deuces, you will never find me at a store. If I'm at a store, it's probably because some girl took me to Target. Haha. Okay. So this is going to be something that you're going to want to take a screenshot of. Okay, this is the actual grocery list. And on here, let me explain a couple things. You don't see a veggie because do you think a veggie is a protein, a carb, or a fat? It's a carb.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, veggies fall under carbs. Okay. And the reason you don't see fat is because we require very little fat in our diet. And most of that shit is going to come from the oil that you cook with or some of the proteins that you pick. So if you think like a steak, right? It's mostly protein, but because it's an animal product, there's going to be fat in there as well. So I don't even add it on here for my clients because we're I'm not worried about you not getting enough fat. Let's put it that way. Okay. So, first step is I wouldn't even wait next time I go. Like, I wouldn't wait. I would literally like print this out or write it out. I would go in my fridge and I would do step number two. I would write what I already have so I don't have to buy it again. Right. So if I was to do this right now, I'd open it and be like, okay, well, I already got eggs. What can I put for eggs? Eggs I can have for breakfast. Cool. There's a random bag of frozen fucking vegetables. I could have that shit for lunch. Cool. And then I'm just filling in whatever's missing. And then I go buy the shit. See how this already saves you so much time and money? Okay. So you're like, okay, got that. But like, what do I eat? What are the things? Here's the things. They're broken down by proteins, fats, carbs, and protein snacks. Okay. The little hack icon, this means, so I'll tell you what, when I first made this list, I didn't have these little hack things on here. And you know what I learned? That motherfuckers don't have time to cook. So I was like, well, fuck. Okay. So then I started to hack shit. So anytime that you see a little hack thing right here, it means that you can find it hacked. You can find it frozen, pre-cooked, pre-seasoned, pre-cut, pre-portioned, pre-something. This is really, 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 really big because this cuts the cooking time to like none. This literally, like, you might boil some pasta, you might heat up some chicken, you might warm up some soup, you might open a salad. But I guess if you came to the meal prep about cooking a lot of stuff, like this isn't it because majority of the people I work with don't have time to cook. If they cook, it's usually something on the weekend where they have more time to do that. But majority of the folks I work with just don't have the time to do that. So I'll give you some examples. Um, okay, this right here, actually, let me start here. This right here is the how many ounces you're gonna get. Now, most of us are not gonna walk around with the fucking food scale. So I gave you little hand gestures. The size of your palm, not your hand, your palm, and like the width of a, what is this called? A deck of cards. That's roughly your protein size. A thumb, if you do a little scoop, that's usually like a tablespoon. And then the size of your fist, I have little ass hands, so that sucks for me, but usually you can eyeball like, rice, beans, things like that, like based on your fist size. Okay? Unless you want to walk around with the fucking food scale in your purse or something, like cool. But most of us won't do that. Okay? Um, these hacks. So for example, ground beef. One of my favorite hacks here is I like to buy a big thing of hamburger patties because they already come portioned. I don't have to sit there and weigh it. I can just portion it out. And just because it's a hamburger patty doesn't mean it's going to end up being a hamburger. It could be meatballs. It could be whatever the fuck. You can shape that ground meat to look whatever you want it to look like. So that's an example. The chicken breasts. You can do, those rotisserie chickens. If you can go to the store, the deli section of the store, and they'll usually have like bins, like little Tupperware bins of like shredded chicken already that you can just buy. That one's great because that one I can just throw extra chicken on whatever. If I'm having soup, if I'm having a salad, I'll just grab a, there you go. Here's my deck of cards of extra protein. Even like protein powder. If you follow me, you know that I'm not a fan of you going to GNC and buying a big ass thing of fucking protein powder for a lot of reasons, but primarily because you don't know how many times people say like, "Oh, I don't have time to blend it." I'm like, "Bitch, it's just water in there." Psh, what do you mean? So that's why you guys see me talk a lot about those little protein, little Tetra packs. There, no excuse. Easy. What else is on here? Canned tuna. Um, they have the little packages. Those took me a while because I was like, that's really sus. I don't know about fish in a pack and it's not even refrigerated. Like, who okayed this? Who said this was okay? But they're actually fucking bomb. And you can just add it to salads. Like they're super versatile. Even like coffee creamers, like I'll buy the little, you know how when you go to Denny's or whatever, they have the little ones? Because if I don't, then my coffee turns to a milkshake. And I don't want to sit there and count my little fucking tablespoons, so I just don't. Avocado. I have a whole ass avocado tree, but I'll still go to the deli section and buy the one that's already made. And I could just slap a little thumb. Psh, I lie, I do like three thumbs. Um, rice, minute rice. They have minute rice, they have minute quinoa, they have minute everything in a minute. Sweet mashed potatoes. Fuck that. I'm just gonna get a bag of frozen sweet potato fries. Same shit. Throw that shit in the air fryer. So screenshot this, take a photo of this. Okay. Now, one thing I want you to know is that I want you to pay attention right here, okay? This is for one serving, right? Like when you sit there and have your meal, your lunch, your dinner, 6 ounces, okay? But then if you go put this thing together, you're like, well, I'm not gonna put 6 ounces for, for protein because I gotta eat that shit for 7 days. And then you would think, because this happened to me, I was like, oh, okay. So six ounces times 7 days, that's 42 ounces. Cool. I go to the store and I'm like, I need 42 ounces of ground beef. They're like, what is that in pounds? I was like, oh fuck, I don't know. So then I came back and I redid this list in the amounts that you would need for the whole week. So you don't have to do the math. So this is the same exact list. It's the only thing that's different is the amounts that you would actually end up buying. Okay. And this is why I want you guys, when you do your grocery list, to go in there and already fill in what you have. Because if you buy a bag of rice, you know that shit lasts forever. Bag of beans, that shit lasts forever. You don't need to buy that shit every 7 days. So it'll save you money. You see what I mean? Grocery list, save you time and money. Unless you hate time and you hate money, then don't listen to what I say. All right. So here's kind of an example, just to kind of walk you through how easy this could be. I gave you two examples. Here's the first one. I have updated this to protein shake, not powder anymore. This is old. So protein shake and fucking peach. Bam. You can go in the frozen section and get frozen meatballs. Get some protein pasta in that shit. Bam, spaghetti. You can get a burger patty and get a bag of sweet potato fries. Damn, you can have carne asada fries right there. Okay. Egg whites, a little piece of toast. Easy. You see how this isn't like you don't need to be a fucking chef. Rotisserie chicken, chop it up, throw some rice, little minute rice. Ooh, my favorite. If you're at a Latin store, get a ceviche and have a couple saltine crackers with that. Good to go. And then I have a list of, I'll give you a more in-depth list here. Actually, this list, I'll put this in the chat box. This is a list of my protein guide. Actually, I'll show you what that is here. Oop, I'm lost. Protein guide. So I've been working on this as I've been making the videos, but this is basically all my protein rants. So I have a whole section on protein powders and what's cheaper, what's easier, blah, blah, blah. Protein powder 101, how to buy it, where to buy it. Um, Protein snacks. So these are the ones that I taste all these random shit to make sure it don't taste like ass, and then I tell you if they don't. Um, so this is the ones that I've been adding. And then just some funsy snacks like zero sugar-free pudding. And then some FYIs and just like little things that are helpful to know, like how to make a fucking egg, a boiled egg. A lot of people don't know how to do that. There you go. Breaking down, I don't know if y'all know, but like ground beef is not the same. There's like 80-20%, 93, 90, blah, blah, blah. So I explain that. Easy ways to get your protein up. So I will put this in the chat for y'all. So y'all can check that out. Everyone. Cool. All right. Let's keep it going. Okay. Now, you know what to get, what amounts to get them. Now, going to the store is so 2020. I said what I said. Instacart that shit. Okay? Amazon Fresh that shit. Okay, check it out. Instacart, if you do it monthly, I think it's like $8 a month. That's literally like the gas you're gonna spend fucking going there, not to mention the time. Or they have a thing like Amazon where if you pay $100 for the year, you get free deliveries over anything over $25. So $99, free delivery for the whole year. That sounds like a steal to me. But let's say you're balling on a budget and you're like, I can't, Nat. Amazon, if you have Amazon Prime, you automatically have Amazon Fresh, which is their version of Instacart. And I haven't tested this yet, but word on the street is that Amazon Fresh is way cheaper than Instacart because Amazon has their own grocery store. So I haven't tested that out, but I heard on the street that that's a thing. And then let's say that you're like, no, I'm not fucking doing that shit. Fine. There's also pickup. You can order your stuff from all grocery stores now. You can like pull up after work, hit your app, yo, I'm here, bring my shit out, and they'll bring the shit out for you. You don't have to ever go in the store. Okay? And unless you're like not busy, unless you're like a stay-at-home dog mom or some shit, like I know you like to pick your own fruit, but how's that going so far?
I eat all the fruit I pick. I will say that.
Yeah. I'm just putting out options. You don't got to listen to a damn thing I say, but I'm just saying this is what I see works. All right. Next little break. Questions on groceries. Dang, I nailed it like that. Stop.
Out.
Oh, no questions on groceries? You feel good about it?
I guess I think it's just you made it very easy to understand. So a lot of it became a like, oh, why didn't I think of that before? What oils would you recommend?
Oils?
Yeah, like for cooking oils.
As little as
Avo-
possible.
Avocado oil is a good one that is like got good fats and it has a higher smoke point.
Right.
Um,
I
I
currently
use that a lot.
I currently use grapeseed oil just because I know its smoke point is like one of the highest, but I wasn't sure if there was one that was better than the other.
Um, yeah, the main thing with oil is that we really just don't need a whole lot of it. So
Right. Yeah.
literally, anything that you can, any type that you want to get, but like in a spray version if possible. Um, and the best time to have like fats is at night because fats are for your brain. You don't really need a lot of carbs at night because you can go to bed. Those are for energy. You don't need energy to go to sleep. But sleep is for recovery and it's for recovery. And fats primarily affect your brain function. If you've ever talked to like a bodybuilder right before they're about to like have a show and their body fat percentage is like 3, they don't know shit. Like they can't put a sentence together. Like the body fat is that low.
Cool.
Yeah. So if you need an excuse to add a little avocado to your dinner, I'm giving it to you right now. Having healthy fats um, before you go to bed or as a last meal will give you better quality sleep because you're giving it what it needs for what it's about to go do.
Hmm.
All
I
right.
had a quick question. Sorry, just one more, Nat. One thing I didn't see on the list, and I know you can't put everything on it, but like salmon, is that a good, we're okay with
Yes.
salmon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So um basically like whitefish is more lean and it's leaner and has more protein than a redfish like tuna or salmon, like the delicious ones. Part of the reason they're delicious is because out of all the macros, the fats are the most savory. So like, that's why bacon's bomb and avocado's bomb,
Oh,
right? Like carnitas bomb. Like if it's bomb, it's probably fatty as fuck, right? Um, so yeah,
Churrasco steak.
yeah. Um, ask me again. I forgot. Brain fart.
Salmon.
uh,
Damn it.
yeah, I was just asking about salmon. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So basically, like tuna, salmon, they tend to have are fattier fish. but it's still good fat, right? It's not like yeah. Um, none of the food is good or bad. It's just like in what situations, right? Like if
Yeah.
you're under eating, like let's say you want to lose weight, but you're under eating, it's better for you to get salmon than tilapia because salmon has more calories. And if
Okay.
you're under eating, that's helpful. Righty. Now, this is going to be the most underwhelming part of the presentation. Okay. Now we're ready for the actual meal prep part. Underwhelming, get ready. So, first of all, how often should you meal prep? I advise my clients to do it twice a week versus once a week for a lot of reasons. But the main one is because you're two different fucking people. There's like 9 to 5 you that has the work, the work schedule, lunch is always at the same time. You get off work at the same time. Like you during the week probably looks very different than you on the weekend, right? Like you on the weekend, you probably are gonna go out to have brunch, probably like they're two different lifestyles. So I have found it helpful to like, for example, I meal prep on Sunday for the week for like corporate me, and then on Thursday or Friday I meal prep for ratchet me. The other reason I think it's helpful is because it's a new skill. This is a fucking skill. And in my opinion, I think this is a survival skill because we gotta fucking eat anyway. Might as well eat in a way that makes us hot and healthy. And so when it's a new, anytime you're doing something new, you're going to suck at it. It would be completely weird if you started doing something completely new and killed it. We all really only have one or two natural talents like that. But everything else, we're probably going to suck at it in the beginning. So getting more repetitions, getting more practice is going to help make you better faster. The second thing, it allows for more exploration. Like right now, you don't really know what protein snacks you like. You really don't know the difference between 80/20 meat versus 97/3. You don't know yet that ground beef can be really fucking dry. Like you don't know those things yet. And so putting in more reps allows you to explore different options. And it's also cheaper because you don't need to buy a brand of yogurt for 7 days a week just to find out on day one that it tastes like ass. You only bought it for 3 days. So go give that to your frenemy. Here, this is delicious. Um, so uh yeah, more reps, more exploration, two different types of people. All right. So here's the underwhelming part is because we took the time to set up your environment and because we bought things that don't require a lot of prep, um, you don't need to spend a lot of time meal prepping. Like you don't really even need to meal prep. This is an example of like not needing to meal prep and also recipes. I'll tie that in a second. It's not fancy, it's not cute, it's not pretty, but it is aligned with my goals. It does taste good, and I literally made it in like 1 minute. All right, check it out. Nothing fancy. Nobody got time for fancy. What you're looking at is roasted street chicken from the store that I just cut up. This is Greek yogurt that I use as sour cream with some hot sauce. And then that's my carbs. And I'm having a club soda. I didn't cook it. It's aligned with my goals. I made it in a minute. It's going to help you get to where you're trying to be. Get like me. Simple, easy, not that fancy. So because we went through all of this, when it comes time for you to cook, it's literally going to be like, cut up the chicken, put the plates on the grate. You can see I don't even like get real plates because I don't want to waste my time even fucking doing dishes. I know. I know. I know. Um, so if you take those steps when it actually comes to time to meal prep, you don't fucking have to. Ta-da! That's a spoiler alert. That's a spoiler alert. Now, people are like, what about recipes? Oh man, okay. might make y'all mad, but I know a lot of us like go on Instagram and save all these fucking recipes. That shit's too advanced for most people that are starting to meal prep. Because think about it, each recipe requires like 13 fucking ingredients that you're not probably going to use for something else. You're probably going to try it once, going to taste like ass because it's something new. You're going to give up on it. And now you have 13 ingredients that you don't know what the fuck to do with, right? And you're not just going to cook one recipe. You're going to take that, all those ingredients, all that effort, and multiply it by 2 or 3 recipes. So it gets complicated really fast. Recipes, I tell people to save that shit for the weekend. You know, like if you have kids and you want to cook a nice brunch or whatever on the weekend, kind of ball out a little bit more, you know, do your mom's recipe or whatever, make it your mom's recipe, but make it protein or whatever. Like, I think that's a better time for that. But 9 to 5, you running around stressed out during the week might be a little too much right now. Okay. Maybe for the weekend. And again, we have this idea of like meal prepping being this complicated thing and fancy recipes and all that shit. Like, you saw that meal, chicken from the deli, sour cream. Greek yogurt tastes like sour cream, y'all. For all your Latinos in here, I know holiday tamale season's coming around. Swap out the sour cream for the pro Greek yogurt. They taste the same. I did that to my family last Christmas and they didn't say shit. So it's certified truth. Um, Lastly, some other things that also count as meal prep in my book. Number one, family style, even though it's just you. A lot of the restaurants now since COVID offer like family fucking meals. Like think like Chipotle or like party trays. You can go to Chipotle and order a fucking tray of chicken, tray of fajitas, call that shit a day. Boom, meal prep. You can even get that shit delivered to you. Right? Um, you know, like pollo loco, like pollo loco in the y'all I don't know where y'all at. Maybe you don't have a pollo loco, but it's like a KFC, but most of their shit is rotisserie chicken. Get a bucket of fucking pollo loco grilled chicken. That's your protein for the whole week. You don't have to cook any of that. Costco is a good area. Costco, if you go to their deli, a lot of their shit is already cooked and they sell it in bulk. So, bam, there you go. So, family style, even though it's just you. And then there is a place for meal delivery. I consider meal delivery as part of meal prep. I have some clients that here's a couple ways some of my clients use it. Um, one one client, they're just like, I'm tired. I don't want to cook. I don't want to meal prep. I just want a girl dinner. And I'm like, you can keep having these girl dinners. You could just get meal delivery for your dinner and just have dinner taken care of for you. Another way my clients use it is they'll get like meal delivery, but they'll get like the really small package as a backup. And you can get that delivered like every other week as a backup for the days that, you know, shit hit the fan at work and you came home late or you weren't able to get the groceries because you didn't listen to me about Instacart. Instead of you just hitting up a drive-through, you have a meal there as backup when shit hits the fan. And then also I have clients that are just busy, or I have clients that they're like, I'd rather pay $11 for a meal than spend 30 minutes cooking on my lunch. So there's a place for it as well. Okay. All right. Questions on meal prep.
Very funny. Thank you for making us laugh, at least making me laugh. How do you feel about like Factor, Dinnerly, stuff like that, the ones that are catered to healthy living when it comes to meal prep packages like that?
2 things come to mind. One of the things I like about some of these companies is that they have all their shit in like MyFitnessPal, so you can like type in Factor, whatever the fuck, and it'll find the meal for you. So I like that. And then second thing is um just understand the macros because um like with the client that was having the girl dinner problems, um I was like, yeah, no, like the one you ordered has a shit ton of it has a lot of calories because it has a shit ton of fat. So they needed to pick a different plan. Or sometimes based on the plan or based on your goals, one meal can be cut into two. So just kind of be mindful of how, because each like factor has like 5 different things that you could pick. And so you just
Yeah.
want to look at those and make sure that it fits your macros. It may not, you may need to cut it in half.
Okay.
That happens more often than not.
Okay. Thank you.
And also, you can eat for free for like 2 months just trying all the shit.
That is
Like I
very
also did
smart.
that when I was balling on a budget. I was like, oh, I'm vegan this week. Oh, yep, plant-based, let's go. Because they give you like crazy ass discounts for you to try it.
For
And there's
sure.
like a bajillion of them now. So you could literally like eat really well, damn near free for like 2 months, just trying all the different stuff. That's a
Okay.
good hack, huh?
Thank you.
Yeah,
That
eat for
is.
free. I love me a cheat meal.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What are some of your recommendations for folks with a sweet tooth? So you said, we're not going to have it in the house. We cleaned out our environment. We went to the grocery store. We got the snacks. But I'm like, what happens when the cravings went out and they're like, how do what's the harm reduction here? What do I
Yeah.
do?
I get. Oh man. Okay. All right. So all the shit we're doing is about getting better habits. Okay. There's 2 things that I have found in my career that greatly, 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 greatly impact. Remember frozen cherries, but also, anyways, 2 things that greatly, greatly, greatly impact your habit. The second one is your environment, right? If you hang out with sweet tutors, you're going to be a sweet tutor, right? Your environment is going to greatly impact, right? If you have shit laying around, we already covered environment. So this environment. The second one is, no, the first one, the most important one is your identity. Okay. I hear this a lot with sweet tooths, teeth, sweet teeth, sweet tutors. Sweet tutor sounds cool. I hear this a lot from people that have sweet tooth. Is it tooth or teeth? Teeth, right? Sweet teeth. Oh,
No,
fuck.
you have
Have
a
a
sweet,
have
Sweet.
a sweet tooth.
singular.
Okay.
People that have a sweet tooth, yeah.
People that have a sweet tooth, and I hear this a lot from night owls.
For
Okay.
sure.
When people talk about these 2 things, they talk about it with fucking passion, right? A more interesting one is I was on the phone with somebody, and their identity was just that, I'm Mexican and Mexicans are overweight, so I can't really do anything about it. I'm Mexican. And I was like, bitch, I'm Mexican too. Don't throw me in that shit. And we had this conversation of like, until you change that identity,
Mm.
you're always gonna fall back. Like, no matter how hard you try to change your habit, you will always fall back to your identity because just psychologically, subconsciously, it's like, no, no, no. But in your heart, you fucking say with passion that you have a sweet tooth. So I gotta align my behavior with that.
Yeah.
And yeah, right. And so one thing I invite you to do is reframe it. I have a really good example of this reframe. We were doing a coaching call on money with my clients. And one of the clients was like, well, I'm always broke because I like to give a lot. After my paycheck and my bills are done, like whatever I left, I like donate it to things I care about. I'm like, so then that makes you a philanthropist. He was like, oh. And I was like, yeah, you're not broke because you give it all away. You're a philanthropist. And just that reframe, they were like, oh, fuck. I'm like Oprah. I'm like, yeah, and Oprah's rich, bitch. So what that make you? I don't have enough to be given away like you do every paycheck. Like, holy shit. Right? And so before you start, setting your alarm at 6 a.m. to stop being a night owl, like, how can you reframe that identity so that your behavior starts to align with that. And sometimes it's gonna feel fake. Haters are gonna say it's fake, right? If you ran a 5K, like let's say you're fluffy and you run a 5K and you're like, okay, I'm fluffy, but I ran a 5K. Okay, so you're a runner. No, I'm not a runner. I walked it. Bitch, you did a 5K, you a runner,
This is good.
right? So like that's how habits change. That's why like, I always tell my clients like push-ups and protein is my drag. Like unfucking the mind fucks is really what I do for a living because your habits around protein and push-ups are never going to change until we start to reframe and unpack and unlearn a lot of the shit that's in here. Because all this
Really.
is just an expression of what is in here.
Ooh, that's freaking good. That's really good.
Yeah, this is a word for sure.
That's solid.
So
That's
that's
really
like the
good.
woo-woo stuff. The tactical stuff, my go-tos, frozen cherries. Bro, frozen cherries are like little slushies, little slushy balls that you could just pop in your mouth. And I like salt. This is weird. I like it with a little salt. I like salty stuff. Um, Frozen grapes are also really good. Basically, like frozen fruit is a good one. Someone said frozen bananas. Yeah, I like to freeze them and then like scoop them with the little spoon, like little slushies. That's a good one too. But um, yeah, I think in general, right, those little tactical moves of like substituting different, sweet stuff that you can have at night. Like I started, like this is why I started. I would like pack my protein, like basically eat protein all day, and I would save my carbs at night so that I could have a bowl of cereal, Lucky Charms. And I was like, cool, fits my macros, whatever, I'm having these Lucky Charms. And I was working for a while, and then I was like, all right, bitch, time to level up. Like, let's start looking for other shit. And that's when I started looking for like, so then I was like, some days I'll have a cereal, other days I'll have frozen cherries. And then actually right today I just had my first bowl of cereal. I haven't had cereal in a long ass time. Because I ended up buying a protein cereal to make a video and I had it and I was like, oh wait, I have cereal. I was stressed out about this. I was like, I want a girl dinner. And I had protein cereal. So um also like protein Pop Tarts. Like I'm telling you, any sweet stuff, whatever, like there's a protein version of that. But ultimately, the real work lies in how you identify.
Mhm.
And that is all I got for y'all. Brr, brr, brr.